Oh, here we go. Guys, give me a second. Once again, let me get everything pulled up. Your phone dead?
No, I'm good.
Let's see what we got going here. Alright, so I know that there's games and stuff on tonight, so I do apologize. We're going to keep this one short. So. Jason, happy Sunday to you. Yeah, G-Funk, so I figured we'd go ahead and put the Terminator in one of the videos too, in one of the live streams. Yeah, that car doesn't get enough airtime. So we're going to talk about that. What's up, Zeb? Horseplay. A2. Go Chiefs. Yeah, so guys, we're going to keep this video short. I'll mention it a lot of times throughout the video. Probably only going to go about an hour or so, something like that. Because I know everybody wants to watch football and such, so that's fine. Emerald, what's up? Hey, I've been waiting all day for this too. So, Cullen, you send me a message. I think you did forget about me, Cullen. That's all right though. We'll catch up at some point. I'd love one day for you guys to meet Cullen. So that's a 03 DSG. I'd like for you guys to meet him. He was a big inspiration for me along the way. Good friend of mine, and you guys will absolutely love him. I'd like to get him on the channel one day. All right, let's see what all we got. So, Winslow Cover says, I love all Mustangs, but my favorite is a fast one. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way on that. All right. More Yellow Wolf is good. Yeah, so like I said, guys, we've got to do a better job of getting Yellow Wolf on the channel. You know how it is, though. You know, I say I'm going to do it, and life, right? That green car behind me is taking up all of my time, it seems, so it's just really hard. Let me get this chat popped out here so I can see it. Also, if you guys don't mind, go ahead and give me an audio check, video check, make sure we're good. Mikey said his favorite's one that doesn't leak. Yeah, I understand that. So we're all good. I want to try to speak up a little bit more because at some point we're going to get a mic and we're going to do this thing correctly. But I've tried to use OBS. I know a lot of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a streaming software, and every time I use it, it lags and everything else. So I can use a microphone with that, but it's just not working out. So I'll have to figure out something else. So. Keeps you out of trouble. Doing good. Okay, so Cobras, LXs, and GTs. Glad to see you in here, guys. I did not know that he had a channel, so by all means, y'all go check him out. So Cobras, LXs, and GTs. Caught one of his streams, and I like it. So I like what you're doing. Keep it up. By all means, you guys go check him out. Oh, let's see. Sounds good. Okay, loud and clear. Everybody's saying that we're good. I know it's a little echoey and stuff like that, but we're basically just streaming directly off my phone. So, so what are you saying, G-Funk? Yeah, so you used OBS too, and it was basically bullcrap? Yeah, I agree. What are you using now? Have you used anything other than that? Let's see. I used OBS, so same thing, yeah. Hold on, guys, just a second. We're catching up. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, no, Thomas, I don't know what that is, but I'll definitely check into that. I got to do something else, something else where I can interact with you guys a little better. Show you some pictures, show you some videos, use a microphone so that everything's nice and clear. So we're going to get all that figured out. But anyway, look, we've only got about an hour. Not what I thought it was. So we've only got about an hour. I'm not going to hold you guys too much tonight. So let's talk about, my favorite Mustangs. And believe it or not, it's probably not what you think. First off, let's just say I absolutely love the Terminator. I am very, very partial to Terminators. I know we don't talk about them a lot on the channel, but I absolutely love Terminators. I think they're one of the best all-around cars for the money and for the power that they're capable of making. I'm telling you guys, Terminators are really where it's at. And you know, I'm going to say they're in my top 3, one way or the other, ever how that may shake out. And I can't tell you that it's just a Foxbody. Foxbodies, I mean, there's so many different variants of Foxbodies and stuff like that. I will say this, as far as like my favorite car that I've ever owned, that's really a toss-up. And I think you guys will agree. You know, every car you got different memories with, different reasons why you love that car. So I can't really pick a favorite myself, but right now I would say the Calypso is probably right up there. I mean, it's number 1 or number 2. And that's simply because we put so much work and so much time into it, and I was able to share that with you guys, and you know, it was just a journey, right? The Retro Fox is also right there. Outside of those 2 cars, though, that you guys are familiar with, I've got a couple pictures right here behind the camera. And there again, you know, if I was smart, we could figure out OBS and I could just click this and show you these pictures. But the car that I'm about to show you was my '89 GT. I bought the car and it was blue originally. Had no spoiler on the back of it. I mean, the car was pretty rough. And I ended up painting it and doing a carbureted, you know, I swapped out, put a carburetor on it and stuff. So at this point, when I show you the pictures here, I had already sold the car. Somebody else had it, so it had different wheels and all on it. But this is the one that you saw in the video with the 18-inch swing wheels. Let me see. Let me get it. I'm going to have to get behind the camera so that I can make sure you guys can see this. Let's see. Where are we at? All right, here we go. So, honestly, guys, this was probably my favorite car that I've ever owned as far as Fox bodies go. I don't know why exactly. I think because it was one of the first ones. That's Papa T's engine from way back. I told you guys that thing's been built for years. We will talk about that car at a later date. And here was the engine. So, like you can see, I mean, it was a really simple build. It was a carbureted setup, and one of the first cars that I really kind of went all out with like that. To be honest with you, as far as like Fox bodies go and cars that I've owned, that was probably one of my favorites right there, and for different reasons. Mainly because I tried a lot of new stuff, and honestly, a lot of it worked. I had done some of it in the past, but we also did a lot of new stuff with this car. That was probably one of my favorites. Like I said, that's as far as like Fox bodies that I've owned, or cars that I've owned. Probably one of my favorite cars. Actually, let's go ahead and let's look at some comments first. You got anything you need to talk about?
So far, they're all. Oh, there's a question.
So A2 says that Terminators were ahead of their time. Guys, I mean, they absolutely were. I mean, you really think about it. What was out at that time? Nothing. Nothing was going to run with that car in the road. They were just nasty. Once again, brutal for president. I don't know about that, but I do appreciate it. You know, I'm kind of seeing like a trend. I mean, the first car that you ever built a lot of times is your favorite. I had built one car before that, actually truly built one car before that, and we called that car Blue Mica. I love that car, but I don't know, guys. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. The white car was right up there, and like I told you guys, you know, of course, the Calypso and the Retro Fox and the Terminator. You know, I mean, it's all kind of in there. But we're gonna get to the other cars in a minute, like my actual favorite Mustangs. We got anything else? Anything we need to answer? See anything? So you guys don't have a lot of questions tonight, I see. That's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Also, Aaron Autry. Let me see. Crap. What was the information on that? Aaron, if you are watching tonight, go ahead and post up where you are running for sheriff. I forgot forgot what that was. Go ahead and spam it away. Aaron's a really great guy, and I posted something up on Instagram about it earlier. So fellow Foxbody owner and Mustang lover. So there you go.
How's the Terminator running?
Terminator. She asked how the Terminator's running. Not so good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the engine, anything like that. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's like it wants to blow spark out, essentially. And I don't know if the plugs are just, bad and needs to be regapped. I have to keep the plugs gapped at about 19 on this car, or it wants to blow the spark out. So there's a good chance it just needs new plugs. I'm not sure on that. But I mean, as far as like driving, you can get in the car, drive, it starts up great. It runs fine, just in high boost. It wants to kind of cut out, which it was doing that before, and it turned out just to be the spark plugs. They were gapped too much.
Someone said, ever have issues with the spark plug coming loose after a while?
Not really, to be honest with you. I've never really had a lot of issues. I know some of the 4.6s, had some issues with spark plugs blowing out, but I've never actually had really any issues with that. So Joey from the Bahamas, what's up? So I think there's some side talking here. Jason, you're saying let's talk nitrous. I'm not the nitrous guy, and I would hate to sit here and pretend like I am. I mean, I know very little about it. Have I run it before? Yeah, but just basic setups, just a wet shot here, a little dry shot here. So, I mean, not really the nitrous guy to be able to talk about that. Now, I've got some friends that definitely, Andrew actually can talk nitrous with you. He's pretty hip on all that stuff. So Andrew is out of town. He left today, so Andrew's going to be in and out for about 5 weeks. He's doing some school work through his work, so he won't be back for a while. He's going to come back next weekend for a day or so, and then that's going to be it. He'll be back. So I will be watching out for his Foxbodies. We may even take the white one and go spin some tires on it or something while he's gone. Now, I actually love nitrous, guys. Don't misunderstand. I love nitrous. From my understanding, there was a nitrous plant that blew up, I guess last year or year before, and that thing took out a lot of nitrous supply. So it's really hard to get around here, and it's really expensive now. So I don't know. That's just something that I heard Andrew talking about and some other people.
G-Funk said, does Yellow Wolf have too much power for its own good?
Yeah, so G-Funk, we're always along the same lines of thought processes and thinking. That was actually going to be one of the topics, or the title of this video is, when is it too much horsepower? And to be honest with you, the yellow car is about to that point. And it's not that I am somewhat scared of the car, to be honest with you, but it's not that I don't like horsepower. I love horsepower. The problem is, it depends on the car, right? I mean, you can take one of these new Mustangs, say like a GT500. That thing makes a ton of power, but it's manageable, right? The car is built around that, so it's manageable. You take something like this. Hold on. Let this truck go by. Super loud. I don't know if it's loud on camera, but it's loud here. But you can take this car right here, this Terminator, which has no traction control or anything like that. Anything to really help you out. The traction control on these things will actually get you hurt more than they'll help you. And you put 700 or 800 horsepower in this car where it's still a driver's car and you have to shift the gears. It's a handful. I mean, it is an absolute handful. You take that same setup or that same amount of power and put it in the new GT500 and it's probably going to be slower. So you know what I mean? It all really depends on the car. But yeah, Yellow Wolf at this point is about, it has too much power for its own good in a sense. So we have someone in from Montana.
Supercharger or turbo?
We go through this a lot of times. Supercharger or turbo, Adam. That's going to be, depends. Turbo's going to make the most power for the most part, but I like superchargers.
G-Funk said, would suspension help Yellow Wolf?
Suspension would help Yellow Wolf. It really is basically stock suspension. It does have a solid axle in it, and it's got a set of Maximum Motorsports adjustable lowers on it right now. So it needs some uppers. I'm not going to do like a panhard bar. I'm not going to do anything like that. If uppers and lowers can't hold it and can't handle it, then it's just not going to get it. We've had a set of slicks on the car. We've had Nittos. We've had 15-inch wheels on it, and I don't know. I don't know what the car makes. That's the thing. We estimate that the car. I mean, it makes. I would think it makes like 700 to the tires. It's 25 pounds of boost. It's only E85. I mean, my red car, I had a 03 Cobra back in the day, and it was on 22 pounds and actually had a hurt engine. We didn't know it at the time, and that thing still made 622 to the tires on pump gas. This thing right here makes a good bit more power. It feels faster, so I would say about 700, guys. I don't know. But it's instant, you know what I mean? When's the rematch between the Retro Fox and the Calypso happening? Busted. It's going to happen soon. We just need to get the Retro back home. It's going to be ugly for the Retro, I do believe. Which it should be, right? Calypso is starting to run good. It's not there. It's not there yet. I can't sit here and tell you guys that I'm 100% pleased with the performance of the car. And I just think a lot of it has to do with the fact it needs more injector. As you all know, we put a wideband in the car. And it's kind of lean, honestly. Me and Andrew took it down the road a few days ago, and we were seeing in high RPM, like 6,000 RPM, we were seeing like 15.1, 15.2 on the gauge. So, if that was a boosted car, it would be no longer. But with it being an NA car, you can get away with that for a little while. Still not safe numbers. Don't get me wrong, but the car's not there yet, but it is starting to run really good. So we're going to put the 24-pound injectors in it. We're going to do the micro squirt. We're going to really get this thing sorted out. I think the engine coolant temperature sensor is bad, so we need to get that checked out, and we'll go from there. What's your favorite color on an 03 Mach 1? Oxford white, which is what I had. I love that. But to be honest with you, screaming yellow is... Guys, on a Mach 1, just the black and the yellow is ridiculous to me. That looks so good. It looks better than the Cobras in yellow. Definitely.
Do you have a video that covers AOD TV cable adjustment?
See, that's the problem, guys, to get off on a whole other thing here. I'm horrible at naming my videos because a lot of times we cover so many different things in a video that I hate to name it TV adjustment because nobody's going to watch it. And then there was other stuff in there. So it was on Andrew's car, if I'm not mistaken. So look back. I think it was whenever I was talking about how slow Andrew's car was, like one of the slowest Foxbodies, something like that. Look for that video. It would have been last year sometime. And I do talk about it a little bit. They're pretty easy to adjust if you don't know. Don't think I have a throttle body around here anywhere. But essentially, you just kind of want the rod that comes through your through the arm of the throttle body. You just want it to kind of rest in the center of that hole where it's supposed to. Push it up through there and put your clip on it. That's kind of how you want it. You don't ever want to have to pull the cable to make it go up into the hole of the arm. If you're doing that, then you're doing it wrong. So there's some videos out there for that. A supercharged Mach 1 took my Duramax to Applebee's. Yeah, supercharged Mach 1s are pretty quick. I know back in the day everybody was running like a D1SC or something like that on, but about 500 to the wheels was about the max there on those cars from what I remember. So I never did that. Yes, MWW. So yeah, that is my address for my PO box right there. I don't know if you guys had a side conversation going. Does the Cobra have a set of long tubes on it? No, the Cobra does not have long tubes. It's just stock manifolds. The long tubes are ridiculous to install. You guys already know, I'm sure. But those things are hard to install and aggravating. But we would actually, if we put a set of long tubes on the car, we'd probably lose a pound or two of boost, which is perfectly fine, and make the same horsepower, if not more. So yeah, at some point we'll probably do that. Let's see. Any tips on refurbishing a set of GT40 heads for a budget build? Honestly, just you need to take them and get them checked out. You need to make sure that the valves aren't leaking and stuff like that. A lot of times though, there's videos out there where you can just relap your own valves, make sure that they're good. A lot of times that's all it is. Unless you have a valve that really got hot, or a warped valve or something like that, most of the time you can just relap them. If you don't know how to do that, you can just Google it. And that's about it really. Just make sure that your valve guides are good, your valve seats are good, and everything else, and it's pretty easy to do. Upgrade your valve springs if you need to. Yeah. Long tubes suck on a Fox, and they are worse on a 4-valve car. So you know exactly what I'm talking about with that. Do I know if the manifolds from an 83 5.0 are the same as a 93 5 liter? I don't think so. Ryan, if anybody else can speak to that, I don't think they are. I think was it an 85, 86? Is when they actually went to a header style. They're actually not manifolds. They're factory headers, you know, that they went to. So I'm not sure on that, but I don't think they are. Let's see. You're gonna have to give me a second, guys. Sometimes I just stare off over here. I'm reading comments and seeing what we need to answer. That's what she's supposed to be doing. You see anything come up?
Well, Ryan Wicks says Auburn looks cold. That's very true.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out here. It's not too bad. The wind's not really blowing through here, but it's not too bad. Donnie, what's up from Florida? Alex Park makes a good spring kit for GT43 bar heads. Good to know. See, guys, that's what I'm saying. You guys talk amongst yourself down here, and a lot of times you can kind of, get your question answered just amongst yourselves. Let's talk about ignition boxes, pros and cons, Jason. Ignition boxes are fine. I'm not a big MSD guy. I mean, at some point you do need to upgrade, but just on the street and stuff like that, a lot of times you don't have to worry about it. So the MSD boxes, I ran them in about all of my cars, but ultimately I'm not seeing a change. This is the thing. For anybody that wonders, okay, if I put an MSD or whatever the case may be, box in my car, and get more fire, is it really going to run better, run any different, have any extra power? Guys, more than likely, you're not going to notice any different seat of the pants. But it is a necessity once you get up into a higher horsepower. I think it is anyway. If you're going to spend the money, you really need to upgrade your ignition system. But, I mean, there again, I can't get into specifics because, I don't know everything about that stuff. Why upgrade? What's good, Jody? So Live to Race says, do you ever take any of your cars to the drag strip? Yeah, I mean, years ago I used to. Guys, I used to race bikes, I've raced cars. I mean, my whole life growing up, I've raced and went to the track. The side that you guys are seeing from me right now is the older me. This is the side of me that has 2 young kids now and a little bit older, a little bit wiser. So I'm not at the track all the time like I was. I'm not out in the street racing. Guys, I used to do all that stuff, and I still enjoy it, but not like I used to. Like I said, we've talked about taking the Calypso to the track. Hopefully we get a chance to do that. Maybe we'll be able to put a set of fatties and skinnies, bigs and littles, whatever you want to call it, on the car at some point and get it to the track. Not to try to go out there and outrun everything or probably even anything, but just to get it to the track. So, yeah. MSD, why upgrade ignition? Yeah, priorities, exactly. Yeah, MSD is great for the 2-step. So that's a good point, Proline. You can use the MSD for a 2-step and stuff like that. So, will I ever do a 351 swap? Yeah, at some point, but it's not that big of a thing for me. Right now, guys, I'm just living a life with this slow setup that I've got. I hate to call it slow, but say in comparison, right? That's kind of why I have these 2 cars here right now. In comparison, this thing over here is an absolute beast. It is a handful, makes a ton of power. This thing over here probably makes 260 to the wheels. I don't know. Man, I wouldn't make that, but it probably makes about 260. I enjoy this car. I enjoy it because I can get in it, I can put my foot in it, I can bang gears, and I don't have to worry about killing myself. This car over here, you don't bang gears in it. You in and out of gears deliberately. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is at some point maybe a Windsor, would be fine. We would do that. But for right now, I'm truly enjoying these cars the way they are. Like this one back here, it's just enough power where you can hit second and it'll get squirrely. But we are going to add some more power, guys. Don't misunderstand me. But for right now, I'm just enjoying this.
When is a coil upgrade required?
When is a coil upgrade required? I mean, really, just whenever. It doesn't matter. Maybe that's one of the first things that you do. You can't go wrong with it. So yeah, go ahead and upgrade your coil just whenever. I need to upgrade it on the green car, by the way.
You can drive like a champ.
I can drive like a champ. How long before I buy the Calypso? Sonic says. You don't want this car, I promise you. It's nowhere near done yet, and it probably never will be up to everybody's standards. That's the thing, this car is don't get me wrong, that's not a hack job or anything, but the way we're doing this car is never really going to be done. I mean, there's so much stuff underneath the bottom that really needs some attention, in my opinion. And it'll just be an ongoing process that'll probably never get done. 355s or 373s, I think we can answer this about 2 times every video, but 355s are my choice, but 373s are great gears also. It depends on your first gear ratio though. This car back here has the SN95 transmission in it, which has a really low first gear. 355s at the most on that. If I had to guess what the Calypso would run in a quarter, guys, we don't really do quarter mile around here, so it's hard for me to relate. I can give you an 8th mile time that I think the car might run on sticky tires, and I'm always gonna throw that out there on sticky tires. This isn't Motor Trend where we take them out there on the factory tires and run them. That's the most ridiculous thing ever. I hope you guys agree with that. If you're gonna, not to get off on something else, but if you're gonna do a review of a car and you're gonna take something out there, don't take it out there on the street, on its factory street tires and try to see, what it can do in the quarter or the 8th of a mile. Just put some sticky tires on it and then see what the car can do. So with this car right here on a set of sticky tires, guys, I don't know, somewhere probably in the low 8s, I would guess. It depends. I know that doesn't sound impressive, but to be realistic, my ultimate goal for the car, once we get it tuned and once we get it running good, with the setup that we got, like heads, cam, intake, gears, I would like to see some high 7s out of it. We'll see. Will you ever do an electric fan swap video? Probably not, to be honest with you. I'm not big into electric fans. There's too much stuff that can go wrong. But there again, we might one day. So Donnie asked, do we like 94, 95 Mustangs? I don't know if you're asking me or not, but I absolutely love 94, 95 Mustangs. Love them. There again, one of my favorite cars that I owned was a convertible 95 Mustang. Loved that car. It was an AOD. That was the only downfall of it, but loved that car. Or AODE in that car. Let's see. I have a T5 from a 4-cylinder. What size gear is a good choice? If I'm not mistaken, the 4-cylinder had a lower first gear. If I'm not mistaken, so you don't want to go with a lot of gear if that's the case. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
What's your preference in wheel size for a 93 notchback, 17 or 18?
It depends. On the notchbacks, you got to be careful. Typically, a 17 looks good on a notchback. About the only 18 that I like is going to be something along the lines of a CCW Classic or something like a 18-inch Celine wheel, like the New Edge Celine wheel with the skinny spokes. Those look okay too. Just be careful and make sure you run like a 35 series tire. Don't try to run like a 40 or anything like that, simply because it's just going to be too much wheel and tire. Emerald, learning so much from these streams. Thank you. I am too, honestly. What's my preference in wheel size? Okay, I'm sorry, you just read that.
True.
Jason says so rough on the AOD. It's not, I don't know if you're referring to the way I feel about them. I actually like an AOD. I like a good running AOD though. Most of the ones I've had have just not worked out right.
Someone said Trojan horse versus the People's Fox. Go get Rodney.
No. I mean, we will. I'm not scared to do it, but we will get gapped with the quickness. As far as driving goes, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. I can handle my own there, but I'm sure he can outdrive me. And guys, he's got those cars figured out over there. I'm telling you what, man. I want to go hang out with Rodney one day. You know, I know Rodney. We're not like friends or anything. But I know Rodney, and one day I have got to go see him because that guy does some good work. Get some of those little tips and tricks and stuff maybe that he does and do to one of my cars.
Mm-hmm.
Trojan horse is nasty, by the way, guys.
What do you think about the Demon body kit?
The Demon body kit. What do you think about? So I suppose you're talking about like from a Hellcat, like converting a Hellcat over to a Demon. If so, I'm all for it, but you better have the horsepower to back it up. Blue Dragon is fast. Yeah, I agree. I like the yellow car, I like the Foxbody. Combine them. Yeah, that's the thing. So let's get back to that for a second. So let's talk about my favorite Mustang, like ever type deal. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm probably gonna blow your mind here. I'll say the best. Let's just say that. Let's just say the best Mustang right now in my mind is going to be. I'm gonna look over here, see what you guys are saying. What do you think it is? What do you think the best Mustang right now is? The Mustang 2, Tricky Nicky. I don't know, guys. Mine. Your first one. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously your first Foxbody, your first Mustang is probably going to be your favorite. But, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. The best, I'm not saying my favorite per se, but, like, in my opinion, the best Mustang is going to be the 2020 GT500. Guys, that car's nasty. I have been preaching GT500, 2020 GT500, and now have you seen the videos, guys? Have you seen what these cars are doing? Now, they are not the fastest thing out there, granted, but they are nasty. Are you that cold? Go get a jacket. But these things are nasty, I'm telling you. You know, I mean, now it's debatable, like best all around car or most known, stuff like that. But like if you're asking me right now what my opinion is, if I could have one car, I couldn't ever sell it, that's been made, it would probably be the 2020 GT500. I just think they're nasty. I absolutely love them. Now, if I was able to sell one or flip it or trade it or something, it wouldn't be that car, I can promise you. So, if you didn't hear me, I've got some people asking what it was. The 2020 GT500 would be my pick for the best Mustang really made. And guys, I wouldn't have said that the previous generation. And I like those GT500s too, but I would have went a different route. But just where Ford went with this car, when everybody thought that the C8 was just going to kill it, and you know, times were changing. Well, they changed with the times, but they kept it subtle, and these cars are nasty. Coolest Mustang. I don't know. I'd have to think on that, on the coolest Mustang. That McLaren Mustang that just got posted that I didn't even know existed, it was probably one of the cooler Mustangs. I've never seen it before. Did Yellow Wolf keep up with the 2020 GT500? No. Yellow Wolf would get drugged by a new 2020 GT500. I say that. I mean, horsepower-wise, it should be, I guess, close. I don't know. I honestly don't know, guys. But I would think it would be close. The problem is going to be that transmission. You're not going to be able to shift fast enough with it. These cars spin. That's what I'm saying. You know, you might as well go back and compare this car to a 65 Mustang. They spin. They're all over the road. They're hard to handle. I mean, they're a driver's car, right? That GT500 does a lot for you. So, yeah, this car would get absolutely drugged by a GT500. So Mike, this is the thing. I mean, you may be right. I mean, as far as like in a straight line race from a roll, if I could shift this car and it not spin, I don't know. I mean, it'd probably be a really good race, but it's going to spin, and more than likely, I won't be able to shift it as fast. Let's see, a 8793 notch with a big block, Freddie. That would be awesome. Yeah, so Yellow Wolf weighs about 1,000 pounds less, no doubt. But I can just tell you now, it would have its hands full. There's no doubt. I just do not see the yellow car outrunning them. But I'd like to see after we get some tires. I do good work. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Always paint apart, back together, makes a better paint job. So yeah, Donnie, you talking about always paint things like when you're painting a car, take it apart and paint it and then put it back together, always makes for a better paint job. I agree. We tried to do as much of that as possible with the green car. When we did that, what we did was when I had the fenders off the car, I went ahead and painted in behind everything and then loosely assembled everything. So it was already painted in behind. Still not the best way of doing it, but it was better than leaving everything, butted up like that and you trying to get paint in between everything.
Fulton said new color scheme on Papa T's Fox when it gets repainted.
Oh, so that's my brother Fulton, by the way. Yeah. So Fulton, we've got to talk about Papa T, or we got to talk to Papa T about that. I've mentioned it a few times to him, so I don't know. I think we need to change it up ever so slightly. What do you guys think? You've all seen Papa T's car, the supercharged two-tone Fox. Oh, well, I know a lot of you haven't, but thinking about maybe changing that up just ever so slightly. I did great on the paint job. I appreciate that, Freddie. We did pretty good on it. Did you see the hatch that Caleb just passed on? No, I have not seen that, actually. Did you ever figure out what caused Yellow Wolf to die the other day? No, I never did. I don't know what the issue with that was. I think it was a fuel pressure issue, so I'm not really sure on that. I should race Caleb. Yeah, I mean, me and Caleb will absolutely race at some point, probably at Ford Takeover. Which now Caleb's car is gonna. I'm not gonna be able to outrun him on the Retro Fox or that. But I'll absolutely race him for sure. I mean, that car he's got, it's on down there, guys. That car's impressive right now for what it's got. It was a good pass. Please get Papa T's car going. Yeah, Ryan, we're gonna try to. We're gonna try to get his car back up and going here pretty soon. It's running pretty good right now. We redid the interior, and we got to get the roof though. The roof's gonna have to be cut out. Fulton, if you're listening, talk to Papa T. I mean, we need to get this roof cut out of this car so that we can go ahead and just drop another roof on top.
Can I help with that?
Can you help with that? Yeah, sure, you can help with that. Run Caleb with Yellow Wolf? Okay. Well, if Yellow Wolf makes it to Ford Takeover, yeah, we can do that.
I'll drive it.
You'll drive it. You're not driving in. You can drive Memphis' little pink Jeep back there.
Okay.
I posted a video for you. It's on YouTube. Okay, all right, Freddie. So I'll have to check that out. I've heard you talk about this before. Rob Kelly's Cobra Burnout. I have to check that out. I'll race you with my EcoBoost F-150. You, G-Funk, you and all the EcoBoost F-150 guys. I got Ronnie Spivey's always hitting me up talking about that EcoBoost. I know they're fast. I know. You ain't running me on none of my Foxbodies because I'm not getting out and run by no damn F-150 and y'all laughing about it. If I run y'all, I'm running with the yellow one. You're not gonna do that to me. Yeah, those EcoBoost trucks are nasty.
Have you ever thought about surprising Papa T with his car?
With his car? Yeah, I mean, I kind of did that, Mike, to be honest with you. We worked on his car last time and just kind of surprising. We weren't going to get into all that, and I just told him, look, we're just going to go ahead and do all this stuff now. But no, because Papa T does his own work. You know what I mean? He takes pride in doing his stuff just like I do. So I wouldn't want somebody to just take my car and then bring it back with all the stuff done to it, right? We don't work that way. This isn't overhauling, so, and he's probably the same way about it.
You going to host your own event in the future?
Am I gonna? Dylan, maybe at some point, but I've done a little bit of that with PFO with my Mustang club. I've hosted events and stuff, just not to that scale. To be honest with you, probably not. I like what I'm doing now, the way I'm doing it. I like to go to other people's events. It's too stressful. Does the white GT in your intro have a channel? No, that's my buddy Ben. We call him Ron J. That car is disgusting. It is nasty. I'm not gonna get any details on that car. I mean, he does kind of index race, but at the same time, he will do some grudge racing, and we're just not gonna talk any numbers on that car. But it is absolutely nasty. When I tell you it's one of the nastiest for what it is, that's a proven thing. For what that car is one of the nastiest out there. But he does not have a channel or anything like that. Any more news on the new shop? So I was talking with the wife yesterday, actually, and we agree we've got to get a shop, and we just got to figure out how we're going to go about doing it and when we're going to do it. But yeah, I mean, we're still going to do it. I don't know the size yet. I don't know any dimensions, but we basically just got to have somewhere to put all these cars. Yeah, where is Salty? Yeah, it's Proline. It's a grudge car essentially, or it's used as a. There is something left on the table. Let's put it that way. Let's just leave it that way, okay? There's always something left on the table. You never see that car's full potential. So yeah, essentially it is used as a grudge car when it can be. Oh, let's see. Yeah, 93 Cobra wheels, I love those. You can't go wrong with them. Yeah, I check out Mustang Lifestyle from time to time. 85 to present, least favorite Mustang, or 86 to present. Probably gonna be, I don't know, probably the not McLaren, but the Capri.
Salty got wore out with my 3.5 hour live stream.
Oh, you wore him out? Who had one? G-Funk? Why did I not get notifications for this? I'm gonna have to check, G-Funk. I didn't get any notifications for your live stream. Sorry about that. There's a lot of guys I don't get notifications. So Cobras, LXs, and GTs says that his shop is 30 by 50. Yeah, we're not gonna go that big. I don't really have the space for it, but somewhere in there, probably about a 24 by 36 ish, like that. Basically, my shop's gonna have to be longer or wider than it is deeper because I want it to fit in the backyard, kind of up against the fence back there. So.
It was Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Where are we at time wise? 42 minutes. All right, guys, about 20 more minutes, and we're gonna start wrapping things up. I don't want to hold you guys too long tonight. Anything else you guys want to talk about, though?
Freddie Krueger said that logo you have of the Fox is great for the sign for the shop.
Yeah.
Great sign for the shop.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. My wife actually can make banners and stuff. We we have some pretty nice equipment in the house, believe it or not, that she had to have. So, hey, but you know what? I'm not really complaining because that gives me an ability to go out and have my hobbies and my toys and stuff because I let her do her thing on that. So we have the ability to be able to print out banners and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll definitely have some banners in the shop for sure. Trust me though, guys, it'll look really good for about the first 6 months, and then after that, about 2 years in, it's gonna look like this. So
Proline News is wondering what G-Funk's channel is.
G-Funk Express is his channel.
Make a fan video soon.
Do what now?
Make a fan video soon.
Make a fan video soon. Elaborate a little bit more on that, Dylan. What do you mean by a fan video? What do I think of bagged foxes? I don't like them personally. Now, Mr. Ed asked, now if Andrew was here, he'd want to slap me in the face for saying this, but I like it. I like the adjustability though. So don't misunderstand. I'm not saying I want this thing, pancaked in the parking lot somewhere, wheels sitting in like that on it. No, But I do like the ability to be able to adjust your ride height. Guys, it's no different than the air shocks in the 60s and 70s that everybody was running, right? You go up to the gas station and you put a little bit of air in the shocks and you can let them up and down. Why was that? Well, so you could fine tune your suspension. Now it's just with a push of a button, right? So you have an onboard air compressor that fills these things up. Me personally, I don't have anything against them. I just don't like it whenever they're just dragging the ground. So there you go. Well, I'll make it to Foxtoberfest this year. You know what, Brian? There's a chance I might. I have to look at my schedule again, but I'm not 100% sure. I said no before, but we actually might be able to make it. Fan cars, clips, and pics. Okay. I might do that, but I'm really not the guy for that, to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like and I'm very opinionated about, and I really don't want to bash anybody's car. And I'm just being honest with you. There's just a lot of stuff out there that I'm just not a fan of, and I'm not very good at, like, I'm very transparent. So if I don't like something, you're pretty much going to see it. It's a horrible explanation or excuse, but it's true.
Someone has a question about the front bumper on the clips I've posted above.
What's the question?
No, he just said he had a question about it.
Oh, okay. Well, ask away if you got a question about the bumper. Also, best supercharger as of right now. Where was it at? Best supercharger twin screw. I think it was today. There it is. Best supercharger to date. I'm gonna say the VMP is probably one of the most efficient superchargers. I'm actually not a Kenny Bell guy. I'm a Whipple guy. I really like Whipples. I had 3.4 Whipple on my car and absolutely loved it. Will a 275/60/15 fit with a 92 notch without rubbing? Yes, it will. Probably gonna have to do some fender rolling, but it will fit with a 8-inch wheel, 5.5-inch back spacing, I think it is. Would I ever do a cruise and meet thing? I don't know. Possibly one day. Can we do one of those brutal foxes for my back window? So Richard, I shouldn't have said that. That's why I don't talk about that stuff. We don't actually make them anymore. I mean, we have the equipment, but as you can see, we got kids and we got so much stuff going on that I don't make any of the shirts myself, and I don't make any decals anymore to sell or even give away. I don't even make them for myself. So I wish I could, but maybe one day once the kids get a little older, the wife can get back in there and start making some more stuff. So if you're listening, babe, need some decals, need some stickers and some shirts.
Oh, she's listening.
Yeah, so G-Funk's channel is a really good channel, for sure. What's my opinion on the best type of wheel and wheel finish for a white 93 coupe? Well, I like a machined finish. I don't like the black wheels. Well, I say that. Okay, I'm gonna put this out there this way because I need to. I could go for a lot of different looks, guys. You know, I say that I don't like a black wheel on a white car, but then somebody proves me wrong, and I see a white car with black wheels that is sick. Or my least favorite, white with white wheels. I see every once in a while I see one that's done correctly and it looks good. So my point is this: don't get too caught up in what looks good, what doesn't look good. Look, guys, I've seen a pink Mustang. A friend of mine actually painted his car. It was almost like a Pepto-Bismol pink with a blue pearl. I know it sounds horrible, but this thing, Gary Bunch did it. So if any of you guys know Gary Bunch, you know the car. Wow, was nasty. Looked tremendously just awesome, but had the right stance, had the right wheels, and all this type of stuff. So, not to get off on a whole other rant there, but I guess my point in saying this is, guys, I like any wheel on any color if the stance is right and it's the right choice of wheel. You really can't go wrong. To be honest with you, I like a bronze on a white car. But if you want to be safe and you want to go with something that pretty much always just looks good, a machined finish on a white notch you can't go wrong with, or sometimes chrome. I'm not really a huge chrome fan, but like, look at this car back here. I don't know if you can see the wheels on it or not on the Yellow Wolf. But the problem I have with like black wheels on cars is, you know, we're so used to it now. They look good. It's like the thing, but you can't ever make out any, you know, what the wheels are. You know, you can't see the spokes a lot of times and stuff like that. So you lose a lot of detail in the wheels. Yeah, the stance is what makes everything look good. I'm telling you guys, think about any project car you've ever seen, like especially like the old Chevrolet trucks and stuff like that that are bagged and whatnot. They got rust all over them. You know, they're 5 different colors and they're slammed on the right wheels with the right stance, and they look sick. They have that under construction look, right? Now that looks good. Now let's take it to the opposite end of the spectrum. Now let's take a brand new, or let's take a truck that has been painted, perfect, slick, beautiful color, and throw the crappiest wheels you can find from Sears and Roebuck on it, and then see. The truck's gonna look like crap. It's really all about wheels, tires, and stance. All right, what we got? They make 93 cover wheels and an 18-inch now. Did I see them? So Freddie, are you telling me that did makers come out with those now, or are they done? Because if so, I've missed that. Can you actually purchase the 18-inch versions now? What was the coilover struts? What was the coilover struts did you use on the Calypso? I didn't use any coilovers on the Calypso. All we did, Buckwright, was just put caster camera plates on it, and we took the cover, you know, the boot and all off the top of the strut. I don't know, maybe that's what you thought we were doing, but really? So Freddie says that these things are available. So who makes them, Freddie? Oh, you're gonna do something unique to 10 holes, G-Funk says. Is Mama Brutal not in the house today? Have we not?
She hasn't posted at all.
She hasn't said anything?
Yeah, usually she'll come on here and say Mama Brutal in the house, but she hasn't.
Yeah, come on, Mama Brutal. Post up something if you're watching. So my mom watches all the live streams. She's probably my biggest fan, and she's always on here watching. So, yeah, you can, but the 93 Cobra wheels now in 18. You can buy the. Okay, so I'm asking Freddie or anybody, do you know where you can buy the 18-inch version of the 93 Cobra wheels? I know Makers was doing it, if that's who you're talking about. What color do I not like on Mustangs? Calypso. I know. Seriously though, I say this all the time. I'm not a big fan of Calypso green. I don't really like it. I mean, it looks okay on this because it's similar enough to the teal, but I'm not a big fan of Calypso on most of them. What else? What was the question on Mustangs? What color do I not like on Mustangs? I don't like purple, that's for sure. And I don't like yellow on Foxbodies. I like yellow on SN cars and new edges. But okay, we'll see if anybody posted where we can get these things from. So Freddie, okay, all right. I'll do the research myself rather than sitting here and asking you 10 times, Freddie. But okay, if you say Makers, you know, is making these wheels and they have them done, then looks like I'll be saving me some YouTube checks because I've got to have a set of those wheels. Like, got to. I think anybody that has a Cobra Clone, or whatever needs those 18-inch versions.
Freddie said Maker's Garage makes the 93 cover wheels in the 18.
Yeah, well, it was red.
Hey.
10 holes and a 5 lug would be nice. Why y'all guys look? You like 10 holes, but you didn't like my 17-inch turbine wheels. What's wrong with y'all? Everybody talking about 10 holes.
Nobody
10 holes is probably my least favorite wheel, unless you're going for that stock look, which I guess obviously most people are. So I mean, I kind of understand it, I guess.
G-Funk said, brutal, if you can't beat the color, join it.
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I know that's probably the craziest thing you've ever heard anybody say. Like, what's your least favorite color? Well, the color I just painted my car. It depends. It really just depends on the car that's on, honestly. Thoughts on ATS Brembos on a Fox? Man, if that's a great question, I don't know. I don't know anything about them, to be honest with you. They come in silver, bronze, and black. Yeah, man. Freddie, I'm digging this, man. All right, I'm checking those out tonight. So as soon as we get off this live stream, I'm checking them out. Let's see. What's a good way to remove 3M tape off the side of your moldings or side of it? Off the side molding. I don't know if you mean off the car or the molding. And the reason why I say that is because there's two different ways. As far as on the body of the car, you need what's called a stripe eraser. I have one. That's why I'm looking around right now. You need what's called a stripe eraser. You can go to your local auto paint store or O'Reilly's or somewhere like that. Put it on a drill, and it's a rubber wheel. And you just run it down your paint, and it's not going to hurt your paint, and it'll take off all that residue and all that 3M tape. If it's on the molding and you're trying to get it off the molding, you need to be a little more careful with that because that rubber wheel will eat into the molding. So,
Proline said 10 holes are a cut above hubcap.
Buckwright wants to know, did I buy the convertible? We got that convertible. Other than that, though, man, we didn't do it. It's still there, you know. And I'll tell you guys. I mean, if anybody's interested in the car, it is still there. And I don't know the exact price, guys, but I want to say it's like $2,900 or something like that. So if somebody's interested in it, I'm not going to put any information out on the live stream. Tag me in something on Instagram if you're interested in it. Don't send any like DMs, personal messages, anything like that, because I'm horrible about checking them. Just tag me in it on Instagram if you really want to know.
G-Funk said I was going to do a 5 lug swap, but Brutal is changing my mind, but I want bullets, dang it.
You want bullets? Ooh, boy, don't let Andrew hear you say that. At least tell me you want some 18-inch bullets, like staggered. At least that. Those actually look pretty good. Let's see. Dylan says, you and Caleb, the new generation, fast forwards and Mustang mags. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, in a sense. My wife is okay with my Foxbody collection, but the rest of my collection, she cannot stand. She wants me to get the rest of my Fords gone. Well, you know, I know that's like a side conversation there, but man, hey, at least she likes your Foxes. My wife's not too cool on all the Mustang stuff. I mean, she's cool with it, but she's not all about it.
She's cool, but she's not cool.
Yeah, she's cool, but she's not cool. All right, what we got? Yeah, so just don't go fast with the rubber wheel. And to be honest with you guys, now, if you have aftermarket paint, so if you have an aftermarket paint job on your car and you want to remove this 3M tape or something like that and you get that wheel, then be very careful because you can rip the paint off. If it's a factory paint, more than likely, unless you just intentionally hold that eraser in one spot for a really long time, you're not going to mess the paint up. I've not had any issues ever with any paint on that.
And that's the least thing you want to do is just to mess up the paint, so you want to be very careful of that.
That's right. Do I prefer a covered grill or stock GT bumper? Joey asked. It depends. I like a stock GT bumper just fine. No issues there whatsoever. But certain instances, I don't know if you guys can see it behind me, but you know, it looks clean. It looks good. Just depends. I suggest the 18-inch Cobras the beginning of the Calypso build. Yeah. Cleveland. Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, they're just a lot of money, right? I mean, those wheels are expensive, but we're gonna have a set. We are gonna have a set if I guess they made them, so I guess they produced them, and we probably won't be able to get any until 2022, but probably be sold out. Oh, Dylan, come on, man. Why do you want to do that to me? You need that black LX back. Man, that car is actually for sale right now. So, yeah. The guy that I sold it to is selling the car. So, can't do it though, guys. It's a lot of money. and we just don't need that right now.
Who'd you give it to?
I didn't give it to anybody.
Sell it to Emmett.
I'm not mentioning any names on a live stream.
Oh,
Thank
tell me later.
you. Yeah. If it's not a clone, leave it a GT bumper. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, there's really no point in it. It doesn't look different enough, in my opinion, to cut everything out and put that up there. Might as well just leave it. Unless you got a good GT bumper and say maybe it's got some damage up there. Don't do that. I wonder what that noise was. But, you know, like if you got some damage up there around your bumper, like around the Ford Oval, then sure, you can always cut it out and do that. Mike J says, Yellow Wolf fuel system. It is twin 465 E85 pumps, 80-pound injectors. I think they're 80s. I think they're 80s anyway. 80-pound injectors. Lethal performance budget return system modified to fit around the Kenny Bell. Because if you guys don't know, the inlet does not come out on the side of a 0304 Cobra. It comes out on the passenger side. All that stuff had to be flipped. So when that happened, the very expensive fuel system I bought, the regulator would no longer fit, wouldn't work. It was hitting the blower. So I had to do some modifications and actually angle everything out to the side. And so yeah, that's the fuel system on the yellow car. Plenty of fuel, except we could go with bigger injectors.
Good night, Donnie.
See, thoughts on fully brandless Fox, no badges, Mustangless, quarter windows and bumpers? I mean, that could be cool. That could be cool, like on a solid white or solid black car, especially I guess a solid black car. That would actually be pretty cool. I'm still looking for a 91 notch. Trying to think if I knew somebody that was selling one. Can't think right off the top of my head. But right, I'll keep my eyes and ears open for you if I run across anything. The wheels are on back order. Just checked. God. All right. Well, Freddie, we'll have to definitely put an order in for those wheels, guys. And I'm not kidding. That was probably one of the deciding factors as far as like why we went with the Cobra clone, because I knew those wheels were not going to be too far out from getting produced, and I really want a set of those wheels, and I wanted them to go with the Cobra vibe. So definitely. Google and wheel remove tape also, yeah, you gotta be careful with that stuff. I've actually had some bad luck with it, but it does work. All right, guys, where are we at? 62 minutes. All right, so just about 5 more minutes just to give everybody time to ask any questions or anything like that. I'm gonna let you guys go early tonight so you can go watch the game, do whatever you gotta do. I know it's Sunday, and we have some stuff over here we gotta do too.
And you too, Cobra, LXs, and GTs. Have a good night.
Yeah, Cobras, LXs, and GTs. He has a YouTube channel, guys. I was very impressed. I watched one of his videos, didn't even know he had a channel, and he never shouted himself out or anything like that, didn't spam me, which I really don't mind. You guys are more than welcome to do that if you have a Foxbody or a Mustang channel, but guys, go check him out. I like what he's doing. He's very down to earth. He likes to sit down in his chair and talk to you, and I can appreciate that. So go check his channel out, guys. Mineral Spirits is good. G-Funk, I guess you're gone. Is G-Funk gone? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you think stop. So you're asking, somebody asked about the hood lights on the car. Let me try to move you out here. Last time we lost signal. I'm gonna try to move you out here and see. Guys, I know it's gonna be kind of loud. And I gotta remember to not talk so loud. Every time I get behind this camera, I end up talking really loud. These lights right here actually just come from Walmart. They were originally on the golf cart, and I took them off and was like, I could use some extra light, but I'm not big on all that fancy lighting. I don't like that stuff.
Oh, so that's where that went.
But I wanted it to be clean, and as you can see, it's functional. I mean, it really works. You can see the headers down here. So I like it, and it's wired into the tip switch right here. So when the hood comes down, those lights cut off. Here is Yellow Wolf. We'll go ahead. look at this real quick. Like this is where I had to modify right here. This is where I had to modify the regulator. But that's it, guys. That's Yellow Wolf with the Retro Fox battery in it. Let's get you guys back over here. All right, guys. I hate to do it, but we're going to go ahead and cut this live stream short. I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I guess I will finish with this because I never really finished it up. Probably as far as like my favorite car, like one of my favorite cars that I've owned, it's going to be the Terminator. I mean, I love. This is the thing. I'm all over the place with it, and everybody or anybody that's ever owned a lot of cars, I'm still very passionate about the Terminator. Right now, though, we just have so much work with the Foxbodies, and that's what you guys like so much. That's why I focus so much time and effort into it. And admittedly, I did go a little too far with the yellow car, and it's almost not fun anymore. But we need to fix that. We have a new pulley up there to lower the boost. We're going to do that. But I'm still very passionate about the Terminators. They're just one of the baddest cars out there. There again, I mean, they're probably top 3 of one of the best Mustangs, in my opinion, to ever come out. They were just nasty. They changed the world whenever they came out. I mean, everybody else had to really step their game up. I mean, people look at the Hellcat and stuff like that now. That was the Hellcat, back in its day. It ran the streets. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know, don't think that I don't love the yellow car or Terminators in general. I love them. But Fox bodies are easy. That's what you guys like. That's what I'm better at. So that's what we do. All right. Yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this. Mike, I do appreciate it. Modern technology is a good thing. No doubt. Terminators are legendary. No doubt. A couple more questions, I guess, real quick. I hate to just say what I got to say and run. So, have I ever increased compression on one of my Fox bodies along with heads, cam, intake? Yes, absolutely. And do I think the stock computer will support it? Absolutely. The stock computer will support it for the most part, as long as you don't get too radical with it. Yeah. Look, Proline, go ahead and build that new Edge, man. Who cares? They're great cars. Aaron, good night. All right, guys. Do I think the stock cluster is still enough to provide accurate readings for head cam? I do want to talk on that real quick, Joey. The RPM gauge on these cars, these factory clusters, are usually off. I made a comment about how my car will turn up to like 7,000 RPM, no problem in that car. That's according to the TAC. It's probably not that much. Factory rev limiter on these cars is like 6250, but I've not found the rev limiter yet on the car, so I couldn't tell you if that's the case. I've actually had that problem a lot. This is something that we noticed way back in the day with these cars. You could take a modified Mustang and go out, and half of them had a limiter and half of them didn't. This car back here so far, I've not been able to find it, so I don't know. But if you're really turning a car up really high and you've got an aftermarket engine, I'd say maybe go at least for a shift light or something like that, because I don't think these tacks are super accurate. So A2 says his Mach 1 needs paint. Probably, man, that'd be awesome. What was that teal looking greenish aqua Mach 1? And that thing looked good. I would actually probably do that. If I had a Mach 1 and needed a paint job, I'd probably have to copy that. Metallic silver or gray paint for an 03 Mach 1. Yeah, that would look good. What should a 5.0 limit at? I guess you're talking about limiter. I know the factory limiter, like I said, is like 6250. As far as a 5.0 goes, I mean, they can rev to the moon if built right. Exactly. Depends on mods. Have I ever had, so Sammy, I think I've missed this before. Have I ever had work done by Panhandle Performance? No, I'm not. Sammy, you know that I'm very close to them. I think we're only about an hour away. Understand this: I have never had any work done by by any performance shop, except for like boring an engine, something like that, getting it vatted, getting it ready to build. Obviously you got to pay somebody to do that, but no, I've never used them for that, and I've never used a shop to build an engine for me. I've always done it myself. Which is probably why they don't run that good. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I went a little longer than I said I would. You guys enjoy your week coming up. Enjoy football tonight. Spend time with your family. And as always, thanks for watching. I don't know why I do this. Every time I say that, and I know I got to get up and hit the button and turn you guys off. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.